what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Relationship Cheat Code, where we give you the game, helping you to stress less and experience your absolute best in your relationship. This right here is the love of my life, my all in all, my everything, my poo, my boo, my baby. This is my wife, y'all, Aiyana.
And this right here is my dapper, debonair, amazing pookie pie, Ayize.
What up, good people? So we're here today for another episode of the Relationship Cheat Code, and I'm excited about sitting next to you and doing our thing as we always do, especially because we crossed over a significant milestone. Yes, significant. Mm-hmm.
22 years. 22 years. We celebrated 22 years yesterday, and I'm feeling all warm and fuzzy and cozy, and I got to be in your pocket all day long.
You did.
All day long. We always say, like, I say, if I could just be in my husband's pocket all the time, he could just carry me around. I know it sounds so corny.
People interpret that in different ways, though.
What that mean?
Like the wife always want to be in the husband's pocket. Like that's how.
Like I want to be in your pocket at your money?
Yeah.
No. Like I just want to be in there. Like if I was a little person, just peeking out close to my boo. That's so corny, but I've said that for years. Like I just love being with my husband. I love spending time with you. And I feel like, yesterday was a good, the questions you were asking me, the things that you were saying to me, I feel like we communicate well and we talk and that kind of thing in general. But the anniversary moments, like, you do a really good job of like slowing down and, you said, I want to know what you be thinking. I want to know what's going on in your mind. I want to know how you feeling. So it was really good to just connect and go to breakfast, and we was eating good all day. Had some great dinner and just hanging out and being with one another. It was good.
It was good. It was nourishing to my soul to be able to
nourishing.
It was to be able to press pause for a second on everything that we got going in terms of pouring into other people, pouring into other couples, and just being intentional about
working.
And being intentional about just pouring into us. And so we do that. Let's not get it twisted. Like, we're getting our time daily, and we emphasize that that's important. We get our time daily, but it's different when you get your time daily and it's squeezed in versus you being deliberate about giving yourself a day or days to be able to connect in and just really turn toward each other and tune in. Like you really got to tap into, number one, getting still within self, but number two, getting still and present with each other. And so we did that.
And I just want to say this. I feel like one of the things that people just don't do enough and just don't give enough credit to is like just spending time, just being with each other. And like when you think about the early days of dating, like oftentimes, it's not even about money. Like that we're going fabulous places, going out to 5-star hotels and resorts and, what do they call them? Michelin restaurants and all that kind of stuff. Like it's not even that. You could be doing that, but we're just more intentional.
Yeah.
People are just more intentional about spending time with one another, really trying to do things to make your spouse or your partner happy. If you're dating, your girlfriend or your boyfriend happy or whatever. And then when we get married, we can just really get outside of that. So I just want to ring the bell. Ring the bell for those of you who are watching to say, spend some time, hang out with your boo. And for those of you, and I'm just saying this to the sisters, I know some of y'all gonna roll your eyes, who are waiting for your husband to pull it together, to plan the thing, to do it, to initiate the date night. Just plan it yourself.
But I'm tired of planning. I always plan it. Why can't he plan it? Does it mean that he don't prioritize the relationship if he doesn't plan it? Like those are things that come up.
This is just me. I'm not even talking as like therapist, coach, right? I'm talking as Aiyana. I'm just like,
as you dig up your nose.
As I did, I just had to slightly just do a little, I had to scratch it. I wasn't digging up my nose, Ayize. But I feel like I gotta sneeze. So I just feel like there's so many things that we can focus on and we can have a problem with. And I want to say this. I think a lot of times we want to we want to, you want to be with your man. So if you want to be with your man, you want to spend time with him, and he's open to that and he wants it too, and he just be slow rolling and, you know, not pulling it together, right? Then to me, it can't we just go on ahead and just schedule the thing? Like, can't we just pull it together? Because once it's pulled together, you all are present. I'm not saying you're present with one another. I'm not saying that you all can't that you can't have that desire. I'm just saying, like, pick and choose your battles. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's a different situation when you're trying to initiate something. You want to hang out. You want to date. You want to do something special, or just go take a walk or whatever. Like, damn, can I get some time? And your partner doesn't want to do it, or they're like, oh yeah, I am, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I gotta go over here and do this first, or I got work late. I gotta do this, and they're never making themselves available. And I think sometimes women who have men who are not good at planning and crafting and pulling together the things, and they're tired. Mm-hmm. I think that they conflate and kind of like mix up the situation and put that brother in the same category as the dude who, I don't care if you try to pull it together, I pull it together, I'm not going to be there. I'm not pulling nothing together. Mm-hmm. And I'm not really interested in being with you, babe. Like, I know you want to do such and such, but nah. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's a gift to be able to be together and to spend time. So to me, those are two different situations. And we see people all the time where the brother is just not making himself available. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh yeah, you was trying to have us do that. Oh, you did tell me that, didn't you? My bad. But that's not the same as the person who's like, not the greatest at doing these things, but they actually will be right there with you, cuddled up with you, close to you, whatever the case may be.
That's a really good point. And I do think that women have to really pay attention to who you got and make room, because it can come off as a lack of acceptance for who the person is if you're constantly requesting that he do X, Y, and Z, and he's expressing a desire to be with you, but yet he don't step forward in terms of doing those things. Like, do you know the man that you with? Do you know what his capacity is? Do you know what tools he got in his toolbox? And just because you can do it, it doesn't mean that he can automatically do it. Or just because you think that it's simple. Or not the same way,
and that you
just because it's simple for you, it doesn't mean that it's rocket science. It's not rocket science for him. And so you may say, I mean, picking up the phone or Googling something ain't difficult. But again, you don't know what his bandwidth is, what his capacity is. And one thing that I do know is that men have the tendency to be hypercritical of themselves when it comes to pleasing their wife.
Oh, really?
And so there's a certain level of uncertainty, hesitancy, and just apprehension with doing certain things, because will I hit the mark? You know, she wants it to be a particular way, and I believe I know the way in which she wants it, but if I mess up, or I may have done it before and messed up, and she may have been super critical or just not pleased, or I saw the way she looked when she first saw it, and I saw the slight dissatisfaction, even though she told me it was good. Those things are bruised to a man's ego. And so
I don't understand.
So you might be like, you know, toughen up and stop being so sensitive and all of that. But no, it hurts. It hurts and it impacts, especially if you're extending yourself and he's just, you know, you're just not satisfied and you feel like you're coming up short. And so I think we were watching something some time ago, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this may be, it's an exaggeration of what it is that I'm talking about, where this dude bought in like a whole bunch of roses, and I think it was after he had cheated on his wife. But a whole bunch of roses. He took her out to a restaurant. He was trying to get back on her good graces, and he actually put roses all over the bedroom. It was a show we were watching. You don't have to be watching these shows, but he put roses all over the bedroom.
What shows?
And took her out to dinner, and they sat down and they were having a conversation, and it was like she wasn't appreciative of all of this effort that he had put forward. But I do think that it was probably because she was just so wrapped up.
Yeah, that's a different situation. If he just cheated, so what?
Infidelity, but he was trying to make amends and be be in right position so that he could connect in with her. But she just wasn't open to that, and he felt like she was so critical of what he had done, and wasn't considering like how he was showing up.
I don't think that relates to what we're talking about right now, though.
It doesn't, but it does. So I'm using that as an extreme example of how sometimes men may do certain things and they feel like they're coming up short based off of the woman's reaction, and they don't do it again. And so this right here was different because there was this trigger point, this nexus where the infidelity was present. And so I'm just saying, ladies, your man has feelings.
Yeah.
He has emotions. He is sensitive in some respects, and some people in many respects. All I'm asking is that if you want him to show up a certain way and he doesn't, deal with it delicately, specifically around planning things. And if he does plan, please, please, please be gracious with your response. And it doesn't mean you can't say, I need it to look different next time. But what it does mean is like how you deliver that message is important.
And timing is everything.
Yeah.
Timing is everything. You don't do that at that time.
Mm-hmm. Some people ain't got poker faces though. Like they can't keep it in.
I mean, we've worked with some folks and I'm like, damn, like you rough. You know what I'm saying? Like you just, you literally are showing your dissatisfaction in the middle of the situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that because I think that's just, sometimes I've heard women say like, I'm just tired of like constantly being the one. And so when he's, attempting to do something and it's half-assed, I'm like, that really ain't nothing. And I really, it's hard for me to hide that because it ain't. And I told you what I wanted it to be and you still didn't do that. You just did what you wanted to do, right? So you're still feeling some type of way. But I just think, sisters, when we do that, I mean, you just lack you have poor emotional intelligence and you lack discernment. I mean, because I don't care if it's your husband or not. If somebody's making an effort to do something for you or trying to demonstrate something to you, and then you give them kind of like, okay, or whatever the case may be, you do that. That's just like bad home training. It's like we do things with our partners and we give energy to our spouses that we would never do with somebody else who we're less connected to and we know less and, care about less. We give them more consideration than we do to our own partners who, we are more intertwined with. And because of that, connection, our hearts are more in it, but we sometimes just lose our compassion. And I think that I've definitely seen, and this is, I wouldn't say I've seen a whole lot of it, but I've definitely seen women who are they're so critical and they actually know that they are, or they're so reactive, or they don't know how to regulate their emotions and they're upset about something, or they're kind of like tight and they know that they're like that. And they just kind of say, that's just how I am. It doesn't mean this and that. It's just how I am. And, I've they just kind of focused on their own self. And my thing is, you don't recognize oftentimes, sis, that energy, we talk a lot about energy, is creating more of the disconnect, more of the lack of connection, more of your husband holding back, not putting himself out there, more of what you do not want. It is just creating it.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So we know you're enjoying the episode, but check this out, y'all. We're not just any old random couple that's coming on YouTube every week just giving relationship suggestions and stuff like that. We're way more than that, y'all. We're trained therapists and relationship coaches. This right here is my beautiful, incredible, sensational wife, Aiyana.
And this right here is my dapper, debonair husband, Ayize. So y'all, we just want you to know that there is more. We don't want you to just be a spectator. We want you to get in here with us and join our community. We have all kind of folks who are doing their personal work, their relationship work. We have sister circles and men's lounges and trainings, and we address all kinds of things from infidelity to disconnection to communication issues and sex and intimacy issues. Look, the solution is at blandcore.com.
Come and join us.
So you're focused on the fact that I'm telling him what I need. Y'all said, ask for what you need. I'm telling you what I need. I'm spelling it out. I wrote it in a letter. I did all of these things, but you won't be responsible for your energy. And you think because I've done that, that's enough. Well, that's basic. That's level one. And having the emotional intuition and discernment and energy to kind of see where your partner is at any given time and to be compassionate and sensitive to him. And this is what we got to do with anybody. You know what I'm saying? This is not just husband stuff. This is what we got to do with anybody. A lot of folks just don't have it. You just don't have it. You know what I'm saying? And just like, you don't have it with him. You don't have it with your kids. You don't have it with your friends. And you think everybody else the issue. oh. But you the issue. You're the issue because you have not learned how to look at yourself, not judge yourself, but be like, dang, I can be rough. It can be hard to be with me because I'm quite critical. You know what I'm saying? And be responsible for that. You said you can be.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear my husband just say you can be like, yes, you're talking about yourself, babe. That's what you say some more about that, Ayize.
No.
That just came on out. I'm talking about women. You like, yes, you can be. I love how this stuff just happens. It just slips up. I mean, I know that I can be. I know that I can be.
I caught that, and I'm probably, just completing a conversation that we had. Not even completing, but still thinking about a conversation that we had earlier.
Can I say something real quick?
But I was also thinking about another point, and so I missed, real talk, I missed that you were talking to them, and I thought you were talking about you. If I just be honest,
you're not listening.
I'm listening.
You thought I'm talking about me because you're like, that's how you be.
Yeah, but I'm also thinking about what I was about to say next, and so I kind of missed that that comment was for them. I mean, but it is applicable to you though.
Yeah,
it is applicable.
I mean, I can only call it because I've been it. You know what I'm saying? And I still be it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. So
that's why I say you.
I'm
can
like, oh,
be.
thanks, Ayize.
But that's why I say
thanks for adding that in there. Like, don't just talk to them, boo. Speak to yourself.
I'm not feeling that right now. It is true, but I'm not feeling that, and so my bad. I wasn't fully paying attention.
That's fine. I just had to say. I've been trying to say this like for three separate times.
But you were just talking for like 5 minutes.
This has nothing to do with the podcast.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm saying this because I know that my husband is going to get off of here and listen to the podcast, and he's going to
already in my head.
He's going to determine whether or not he thinks this is a worthy shoot to put out, a worthy recording to put out, because our I think our people are here. Our lawn service is here. They're cutting the grass and all of that. So if you hear that, I just want you to know that's what it is. You can still hear us fine, baby. They can still hear us fine.
I know they can hear us
and we
fine.
are not canning this because of that daggone lawnmower.
Yeah, I get it.
All around the house.
Yeah, I get it. I really was actually thinking that.
I know.
And
I know my husband.
I wasn't going to toss it though. I wasn't.
Oh, you wasn't?
Nah, but I do hear it, and it is problematic, and so I was going to say something myself. But
that type of stuff be driving him crazy, y'all.
Yeah. So again, I just want to go back and say I don't think that you be like that. You can be like that, but you don't be like that.
Whatever that means. Okay.
There's a difference. So if somebody is like that.
That's just how they roll.
That's just who they are. So I would define you as that. I wouldn't define you as that. I do think that at times you can be that way.
Okay.
And so can I. And I'll take that one, because I know that I can be very critical, judgmental.
You don't have to join me over here. You can just leave it on me.
Okay. But it's facts though. So but here's the thing that I really want to lift up. And it's really fascinating. And I found myself being guilty of this myself. But but back in the day, y'all, my wife, she actually hit me to this idea, this concept that was so transformative. I had never heard of it before.
Oh, really?
And this is when we were dating. We were 17 years old. And because my background was one where I was primarily focused on sports and really hitting the mark and being the best that I could be at that particular arena. And one of the things that you said to me was that it's not black and white. Oh. It's not either or. It's both and. Mm-hmm. And that was...
I said that back when we were 17?
Yes. Wow. Yes. And I was just thinking to myself, like, damn, she's so smart. Like when she first said that to me, I was like, she's so smart. She's deep. It's not either or, it's both and. And so I had been looking at life through a lens of either or. Or I had been looking at a life through the lens of black and white. And I wasn't considering the gray. Or I wasn't considering the either or. And so, I wasn't considering the both and. And so when you shared that with me, it was revolutionary and it opened up my eyes and gave me a greater appreciation for all that is around me. And so that lesson that you taught me stuck with me. And so I'm truly appreciative of that. And so I lift that up because I think that one of the main problems that people run into, and I taught about this in our class last week, but one of the main problems that people run into is that people try to govern themselves and govern those around them based off of the same rules and the same laws. Everything is not applicable in every situation. And so what I mean more specifically is this. One thing that you often say, and many people say it, is that opposites attract. Mm-hmm. And so that right there is a law of electromagnetism, mm-hmm. that where you have polar opposites that actually attract. And when you're dealing with electromagnetism, you also have this piece that lifts up that likes repel. Mm-hmm. So opposites attract and likes repel. And so that's what a lot of times people are like governing themselves based off of, and sometimes use that to justify why it is that they're dating the person that they're dating, why they're in a relationship with the person that they're in a relationship with. That right there is indicative of a law of energy, electromagnetism, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's there. Mm-hmm. However, that's physics. However, when you deal with social sciences, psychology, sociology, and when you're dealing with the social sciences, what you'll see is that like attracts like. Mm-hmm. You want to be in areas, in rooms, in spaces with people that are similar to you. Right. Whether it's based off of race, whether it's based off of interest,
culture,
based off of culture, whatever it may be, you're looking for people that you can connect with. Right. And so I'm saying that to say that when it comes to you having an issue with the way that your man does certain things or the way he shows up, you believe that it should be a particular way because it's the way that you do it. And so what all I'm saying is that you're governing your relationship based off of black or white thinking, and you're not considering and making room for the either or. The social sciences is more of an either or space. It's more of a gray space. So when we're talking about interpersonal relationships,
you mean like the both and?
Yes.
You mean not making room for the both and, not the either or?
Yeah, you're not making room for the both and. Yeah. Okay. So you're doing it based off of either or. You want it to be black and white. Mm. And what I'm saying is that human relationships are both and. Human relationships are gray. Mm-hmm. And so what you have to do is expand your idea and develop a different appreciation for the fact that it's not going to be like predominantly black or white. And it's going to be a lot of gray. That's right. And we get uncomfortable with that. But again, you're governing yourself. You're used to governing yourself based off of this whole either or piece. And we got to expand our thinking to include more both and.
Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. You said I'm deep. You deep. You ain't real deep.
No, I mean, it's just real. Like, and what I've learned is that the more that I incorporate that in the way that I flow, it's hard though, y'all. It's hard because when I say either or, what that's referencing is boundaries. What that's referencing is there is an out of bounds. What that's referencing is some things are right and some things are wrong. And so that has to be present. Those are laws that are in place to ensure that things continue to function properly. But once you get inside of that box, once you say I do, once you commit to somebody, the commitment is the black or white. The commitment is the parameters. It's the border. It's the no question. It's the thing that's done. It's like it provides the. Why are you looking at me like that? It provides the structure. But once you get inside the walls of the commitment,
yes,
that's where the both and kicks in. That's where the gray comes into play. Mm-hmm. And so what you're trying to do is, what many people are trying to do is they're trying to govern what's going on inside of the box with a whole bunch of black and white, and not really realizing that what's inside of the box is the blend of the black and white that's on the border. What's inside of the box is the gray. And so you got to make room for that gray inside the box.
Gotcha.
I hope y'all understood what I was saying. My wife, she's looking at me like, Ayize, you like really overcomplicated what it was. This very simple point. But I'm just saying, I say all of that to say that
my husband is a philosophizer.
That's where a lot of people bump into each other in their relationships.
Philosophizing like a mug.
Black and white everything. And
but I understood exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
I was
It was getting lost.
Sometimes I was getting lost a little bit, but then I was like, I see where we going. I see where we are. So I do get it.
So, I've had to learn to be more, be more gray with you and be more gray with our children. In some spaces, it's easier than others. And so, yeah.
Yeah. And we talked about that yesterday. We talked about it this morning. We took a walk this morning. We did not just that specifically, but just talked about like parts of our personalities, like parts of you, parts of me. One of the things that I like to do is I am a fan of astrology. And so I like to, remind myself of my life path number, my husband's life path number. For those of you who are like, what are you talking about? Google it. If you're like, no, I'd rather not, that's fine too. Just bear with me. But the things that come up for us every single time, are these things about you, and about me that are they just make up who we are. And it gives me such appreciation, especially on our anniversary, to have gone back over that, because you are a philosopher. You are a deep thinker. You're a nurturer. You are a space holder, and you tell stories and make points with analogies, and you just have a lot of empathy and intuition and connection to all kinds of images to bring home your point. And I know it seems like I'm just saying that because of the point that you just made that was so eloquent and elongated. But
you saying I was an amplifier.
It was an elongated point. But I mean, I'm saying this, y'all, because the overarching point that I'm making right now is between yesterday and today, like I said, we've been just talking about who we are and like revisiting and finding things that's me. Like I'm reading about myself and reading about him and, reading to him about himself, going back and revisiting things that we've shared in the past that like, how do you see yourself now? And how does that resonate with you now? Or does it not resonate, now that we are where we are in life? And so I do this around birthdays, but anniversary is also a good time to do it because, we've grown up together. Yeah. Yeah, shawty, like we've been together for a minute, from high school to now. So like just seeing you now over there with your salt and pepper looking all fine. And hearing from you, yeah, do that, baby. Do that. Hearing from you, like how you see yourself and like the answers that you have today versus what you shared last year, 5 years ago, a decade ago when we were teenagers, right? And on and on and on. All of those things, I just have a lot of gratitude for them, for the ways I see myself differently, the ways I see you differently. It's a growth process. Marriage, love, it's a growth process. And I'm enjoying growing with you every single day.
Every single day. Every single day. Hey, y'all, this has been good.
Yeah.
If you don't get anything from this, please know that even after 2 decades, we coming up on 3 decades of being together. We just crossed over 22 years of marriage. But, even after the amount of time that we've spent, you can still be even more connected than you were when you first met. That actually should be the way that it is. If you're doing your work.
It's supposed to be that
if
way.
You're being more intentional, if you're allowing yourself to be seen, like the opportunity to grow and connect is in front of you. And so be inspired, be encouraged, keep doing your work. Thank you for watching another episode of the Relationship Cheat Code. Please like, please subscribe, please share, and please comment. Check out the rest of our other videos too, y'all. Like, we dropping some gems and it's real deep. We answering some questions.
You real deep. It's real deep.
It's real deep. Yeah.
You a deep dude.
We'll connect.
We'll see you on the next one, y'all.
Peace.